My name is Lemuel Gulliver. I was born in England in 1661. When I was only 14 years old, my father sent me to Cambridge University. I studied medicine and learned about navigation. I had wanted to travel the world since I was a young boy. After 3 years, I left university because my father had very little money. I found work as a doctor on a ship and made several voyages. I saw some of the most interesting places in the world. After a few years, I returned to England and married a woman named Mary Burton. We lived in London, where I worked as a doctor. I quickly discovered that many doctors were dishonest. Although I worked hard, my business started to fail. Soon, there was no work for me in the city, so I found a job as a doctor on a ship again. I traveled the oceans for 6 more years. I had planned to come home after this time. I haven't seen my wife Mary for 6 years, I said to myself. But then, I had an opportunity.
We're starting a new voyage to exciting places. If I were you, I'd take this job as our ship's doctor, said the captain of the Antelope.
And so I did. For the first few months on the Antelope, everything was fine. Then one day there was a terrible storm. Our ship hit a rock and started to sink. With 6 other men on the ship, we dropped a small boat over the side into the waves. Just then, a strong wind hit our little boat. I don't know what happened to the other men. I fell out of the boat into the ocean. I swam for many hours and the water was very deep. Just when I thought I couldn't swim anymore, I realized I could touch the bottom of the shore with my toes. I pulled myself to the shore. I had no idea where it was. I couldn't see any people or houses in that place. The weather was hot, and I was wet and tired. I fell asleep on the grass. I slept very deeply for 9 hours. When I woke up, I tried to stand up, but I couldn't. Then I tried to lift my head, but I couldn't do that either. I noticed that it was tied to the ground by my hair and by many little ropes across my body. I heard noises, but I couldn't understand what they were. It's okay. I've been dreaming, I said to myself. But then I felt pain all over my body, and I knew I wasn't asleep. I looked and saw many tiny people who were only 15 centimeters tall, all around me and shooting arrows at me. The strange little people were shouting to each other in a language I didn't understand. They continued shooting arrows at me. It was more painful than you can imagine. I shouted out. I tried not to move, and I was very quiet, so they stopped trying to hurt me. For a few days, they kept my hands and feet tied up. The people watching over me gave me lots of food and water. They climbed up my body carrying baskets full of meat and bread. Because of my size, I needed more food than 1,000 of them. They were very surprised by how much I could eat. After a while, they tied me onto a cart and pulled me with hundreds of tiny little horses to their capital city. This place was called Lilliput. They put me in the largest building in the city. However, it was very small for me. I couldn't even stand up in it. The people of Lilliput made a bed for me, with 600 of their beds tied together. In London, I used to be a normal-sized man, but here in Lilliput, I was a giant.